Alright, welcome back guys. If this is your first time here, I'm Vision Hero Bar Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Telling you guys some huge news regarding Power Rangers Dino Fury. Now if Power Rangers sent your instant, don't forget to hit subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon, don't miss more Power Rangers news from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So like I said, we got some huge news regarding Power Rangers Dino Fury as international airings began this week in France. Next week they start in the UK, which is very frustrating. Now I usually wouldn't cover this because it's a spoiler alert for any US fans, but this has pretty much been all over the internet, so I'm kind of going to cover it here. I'm not going to be covering anything else, but this is such what I believe important and iconic moment in Power Rangers history that I think it's something I should cover right away. So it has been revealed through the international airings that Izzy is going to be the first LGBTQ plus ranger in the franchise. Well, technically not in the franchises, it would be in the TV show, because I know in the 2017 movie you had Trini was LGBT, and I think there are two within the comics that are also part of the LGBTQ plus community. So I know that they're there. I don't totally know if the comics count as continuity within the show, so I don't really count them, and the movie is its own separate universe, so yeah. But this is the first one in the TV show, which I believe is iconic. It's an important moment. Simon Bennett had mentioned this in an interview. He was very vague about it, so a lot of people weren't sure if this is actually true. And I believe that this was actually something that was going to happen. And there are a lot of people that just said, no, they can't do this. It's a kids' network. But here it is. It's been revealed. This is 100% true. So Izzy will be our first ranger to represent the LGBT plus community, which is very exciting. Interestingly enough, so far I've seen pretty well positive reviews of it. I don't think I've seen any negativity from anybody. Yeah, it's only been early, so I could probably get out from making this video, and there'll be a bunch of them out there. But as it stands right now, I haven't seen any. But I could see stuff like Zed, where parents got mad about Zed being too scary, where now they can put up an argument that Power Rangers is pushing an agenda on their kids, which is stupid and silly. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Nick would never do this. They shouldn't, air anything regarding the, pushing this kind of stuff." However, you forget that the Legend of Korra aired that, and they had LGBT representation along with the Roundhouse, who also has it at the moment. So I am very glad that they went forward with this. I'm super hyped, and this season of Dino Fury is very much changing the franchise. We got our first ever female Green Ranger, and on top of that we got our first ever Ranger to represent the LGBT plus community. So that's exciting. Interestingly enough, they're both Green Rangers. I don't know if that's but coincidental or on purpose. It doesn't really matter either way, but it is amazing and awesome at the time that the LGBT plus community is represented in this way. We've got, this season has been iconic. I feel like this season is very big on representation. I mean, first we got our first ever Sixth Ranger of color with Jason Fatum. I forget how to pronounce his last name, but he'll be playing Ion, the Gold Ranger. So they're very much breaking a lot of boundaries here with the Gold Ranger and the Green Ranger, which is very great and very exciting. I think Simon Bennett is doing great so far, and from what I saw, it looks like they only did it with them holding hands, which is pretty much easy to do. I doubt they're gonna go like too over the top like LGBT, but I do hope that Izzy's girlfriend at least appears a few times throughout the season and second season. From what I can tell, it looks like the same girl that she had a race with in episode 6. Again, I haven't watched the episode, nor do I plan to until it airs here. So please, if you know spoilers, please be vague or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty cool and interesting as well. And I feel like with Izzy, they're very much expanding on the character. I mean, you showed her cousin who had a disability. So, interestingly enough, the Green Ranger has a lot of connections in regard to diversity, which is very interesting as well. But I'm also interested to see how the other Rangers and Javi interact with that. That'll be an interesting thing to see the interactions with the other Rangers. Does Javi know? And what's his reaction? Does Warden Garcia know? These are all questions I could be very interested to see if they answer them throughout the season. I think they could answer them. I think they should answer them, but I'm just also interested at the same time. Again, I don't want to. Look, I want to see them represented well. So I don't want to see whoever the girlfriend is be on for like an episode or maybe 2 episodes. I want to see her at least play at least a recurrent role. She doesn't have to be in every episode, but maybe one every 2 episodes and every 3 episodes. You don't have to put her in every single episode, but say you put her in episode, I think it's 13 or 12, then you put her again in like say 16 or 17. You don't need her in every episode, but at least have her as a recurring character so that it makes up, kind of shows in the representation. That way it's just not in one episode and then we never see it again. So I want the representation at least shown and seen throughout the season, not just a one and done scene. At least that's where I stand. I'm very interested to see if David Yost will make a comment or say anything regarding this news, regarding everything that happened with him back in MMPR days. So I'm very curious to see if he will make a response or if he'll even say anything at all. I'd be surprised if he didn't say anything. So I'm assuming we'll get some kind of reaction from him within the next day or so. But yeah, I'm super hyped. Simon Bennett is great. Very much bringing in a lot of diversity here. And I know we'll eventually get the anti-LGBTQ plus people out there who will say that PR is trying to push an agenda. But all shows do that. Every show goes for that. I mean, parents did that with Zed, but then you got Mezagog, who they never complained about. So, everything is going to happen. Whatever's going to happen will happen. I do believe that they're going to keep Izzy the way she is. They're not going to just change her for, the sake of the parents. And even that, if they did, it would just be looked at as she is still a member of the LGBT community. Instead of her liking girls, it would just end up being, she likes boys, and then it'd just be looked at as still being a member of the LGBT community. So you can't really switch that. Otherwise, either way, she's going to be a member there of the community, and I'm glad we're getting representation. I'm interested, and I know it's not very important. I know, at least to me, I know certain people it is important to, but I'm curious if Tessa Rayo is a member of the LGBT community. I know a lot of people get on this whole thing about how people who are only members of the LGBT plus community should play LGBT characters on TV shows. I don't think that's right. If the actor is right and fits the role, that's the perfect fine. No need to just, do casting calls for members of the LGBT community to play an LGBT character on a show. I just don't believe that. So that's just my thing on it, but I'm very hyped for this. I think it's great. Power Rangers breaking a lot of barriers this year, and I'm just super excited to see what Simon Bennett can do with the show moving forward. I mean, this is just their first year with the show under Hasbro. So what could we see within the next few years regarding diversity and bringing in new different things? One thing I hope we get next season is our first ever Red Ranger female. I know people argue, well, Chara was a Red Ranger. She was evil, and we only know she was a female Red Ranger for like the final 2 episodes. And I know people also argue about Lauren from Samurai, but again, I don't count her because she was only in 5 episodes and still was pretty much overshadowed by Jaden. So yeah, while she is a female Red Ranger, I want a female Red Ranger who, appears within the formation of the Ranger team to the part where they lead them into the final battle. I don't want them, being there for 5 episodes. I want a full 40 episode Red Ranger. But back to this, I'm very excited for this. Like I said, I'm very excited for what possible stories they could tell. And, like I said, does Javi know? Because I know there's I think in the episode description about Izzy wants to go on a date, and Javi that makes the wrong choice. I'm gonna assume that this is the episode, and Javi didn't know she was a LGBT, and so I'm very interested to see what his reaction will be, along with if their dad knows. Those are 2 questions I'm very curious to see the reaction to, along with the rest of the Rangers. That's something I think that'll be an interesting reaction to as well, along with how they interact now. Because sometimes they could show maybe the brother doesn't accept it, something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, I don't know if they'll throw that into the wrench or anything, but we'll have to just see again. But I'm super hyped for getting this kind of representation within the show. I want to know your thoughts, Pains. What is your reaction? How do you feel about Izzy finally being the first LGBT ranger within the TV show continuity? I mean, no. And as for this being, done as international reveal, this is the only thing I'm probably gonna really cover regarding the international reveals. I know they showed Void Knight's face earlier today. However, I'm not gonna even go over that or cover it. I'm not covering anything regarding the PR or Dino Fury, at least until the show returns in US showings, and then I'll start talking about it. So I will not be covering the Void Knight face reveal. That'll be coming later on in a few months or so. And I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so if you know it, please don't tell me anything regarding spoilers. I do know that Zed's coming back in some fashion, so I will be covering that. But other than that, I won't be covering anything else regarding the second half of Dino Fury. But like I said, let me know your thoughts and opinions about the Izzy being the first LGBT ranger in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions regarding Izzy being the first ever ranger to represent the LGBTQ community. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, hit that bell icon there to miss no more Power Rangers content from me moving forward. And you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, which is linked in the description on my YouTube channel. As always, I'm Vision Hero Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.